+4 morale bonus on saving throws against mind affecting that rely on negative emotions. It's a luck bonus. Okay.
I'm prepared.
Can I take a potion of
I'm losing my temper.
wisdom or something? Scroll of Owl's Wisdom. Wisdom is for will saves, right? Will saving throws. Alright,
Let
so
me help.
you... How long does this last? 1 minute per level. And caster level is 3, so 3 minutes. And then we'll do protection from evil. Protection from energy communal. Nope. The other spell's not listed there. Alignment. It's a purple dome? I don't see it. We're just going to stack everything. I'm going to go protection from evil, protection from chaos. Then we'll go bless, prayer, and
Shellen guides me.
the wisdom buff. And see what that does.
The goddess protects us.
I will help where I can.
The world has suffered enough. Adayana.
14. Wow. It's changed everything. I've completed your task. I do not serve you and I will not tell you anything. I have benefits over evil and chaos, and she's still overcoming them. I have to beat 3 will saves, apparently. 1, 3. You can't break me. Failed. Keep trying. Failed. Huh. was really close. I'm gonna give this a few more shots and see if I can actually, like, manage it. I don't know what the saves are, though. They may be, like, 40, and at which point I have to roll natural 20s. Actually, I think with natural 20s it still wouldn't work. I know I beat the first and the second one. You've lost, get out of my head. She reclines on her throne, exhausted, and hisses through clenched teeth. You Cretan, get out of my harem. A buzzing hum rises through the throng of spectators who witness your confrontation. You hear angry curses directed at you, but they ring hollow. For the first time in centuries, Shamira has received a public dressing down, and witnessing it was a true delight. 10,000 experience gained. Sick. Cool.
You are most curious, mortal.
Let's go. Who are you?
I am the one whose attention you have been seeking for so long. I am Nocticula, ruler of the Midnight Isles.
I take it I finally have your attention?
Yes, your arrival in Alashanira was quite impressive. Rumors have reached me even here, behind my locked gates and my wall of valiant guards. Rumors of a remarkable Galarian taking my Alashanira by storm.
I'm asking for an audience.
You have my permission to enter the palace. Go there and wait. I will arrive when the time is right. Until then, you will be taken care of by one of my servants.
Nice. Let's go date. Anything good? I haven't got anything good recently. The Annihilator. Whenever the wielder of the scythe confers a critical hit, it deals 46 force damage to all enemies in a 15-foot cone. Oh, shit. Too bad nobody here uses scythes. Scythes would be a cool weapon. This, actually. Walking on corpses. Do I need to take Ember with me? What is the name of this quest? The Wicked. Because it just says obtain a meeting. It doesn't say take her with me. Oh, it says you have to, yeah, you need to bring Ember with you. Okay. All right. I think we should rest. Can't hurt. Put her on food duty. Fast healing 1 and +2 bonus to max HP per level. Fast healing. So it's either Skullberry Pie or Screaming Omelet. I mean, we might as well go with Screaming Omelet, right? 80% chance of success. Hey, success. Alright, so we need to take Ember with us, which is unfortunate. Composite shortbow. Damn. Somebody went all out to Void. Holy crap. +10 to use magic device. +5 on Arcana. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, to be fair, that's the best way to do it. Just Google. There's a couple of apps and websites and stuff that'll do that, where you could just like look up what food you have. You just type in what kind of food you have in the fridge, and it'll be like, this is what you can make. Type. Let me look at belts. What belt is this? Constitution 4. Is it Constitution 6? Constitution and Strength 4. I think I'd rather just do Con 6 with her. Get her some more HP. What is your helmet? Charisma +4. When they deal damage with a spell to one or more enemies, they get 10 temporary hit points for 3 rounds. Alluring Charisma 4. Wisdom 6. Vast Intelligence 4. What is this? The amulet makes all ward abilities and spells that have the word ward in their name grant +1 AC and become extended as through the extended feat. All of that is fine. I guess that's all she's gonna wear. Can't wear armor. She's got the best bow she can get. That's essentially it. She doesn't learn spells. She has them memorized. What shit goggles? Alright. Land, sit down. Ember, come with. I don't like. I may end up finding that Ember is just like insanely good or something, but I highly doubt it.
Move out!
Okay, that is what I want. Alright, I need to go to the castle. I want to go in. Our Lady has ordered us not to bar your way. The shelves are stuffed with countless books and scrolls praising the Lady in Shadow's many deeds. Some tomes are old and threadbare, others are new and in mint condition.
Damn! It's just not my lucky day. This was simple enough.
The Lady in Shadow's library called the Vault of Graves. It contains the biography of everyone whose life Nocticula has ever taken, and her victims are innumerable.
Onwards!
How big is this place? Not as big as one would think, which is good.
I sense something. Something is not right here.
Lexicon of Paradox Part 2. Ooh. Unfinished draft of a letter. Small letter in handwriting. Midnight Vault.
Move out!
You? What do you mean use? I'm sorry, what does this mean when I use it? Huh. apparently you can combine them or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll wait. I learned something from the book as well as learned something from the letters I read. Lexicon of Knowledge, Part 2. +1 to AC against demons. Letter in small handwriting. +1 insight on knowledge skill checks. An unfinished draft. +1 knowledge on knowledge world. Knowledge arcane. Interesting. Alright. As you know, my dear addressee, given the scope of the planes, time is a relative concept, and in the abyss, it can even be more unreliable. Therefore, I do not allow myself the vain hope that this message will reach you in time. Your final question was about the possibility of a complete awakening of the memories of a mortal life within a soul that has already passed through Pharasma's judgment. I will send you the research on all cases of which I am aware where such an awakening took place. Despite the fact that this list is quite extensive, my conclusion is that all such recorded cases are the rarest exceptions to the rule, and with the absolute majority of souls, an occurrence such as this cannot happen. Both the wonder and the tragedy of mortality mortally lie in the fact that there is a certain moment after which the process is final and irreversible. The essence that departs the judgment of the Lady of Graves is no longer what it was in life, and we, as scientists, must account for this in the system of knowledge we are constructing. I don't know what any of this means. Okay. Weird.
I've embarrassed myself. I'm glad I was useful to you. I've finished here. Is there more?
Head on! I lead. You follow.
Our Lady in Shadow, the Queen of the Midnight Isles, Lady Nocticula, Demon Lord of Darkness and Lust. The tall shelves are stuffed with countless books and scrolls praising the Lady in Shadow's many deeds. Some tomes are old and threadbare, others are in okay.
Onwards!
Save right there.
Greetings.
Oh, it's you. A stately shadow comes towards. In its hands is a small mirror, sparkles and shimmers with an unsettling light.
Greetings, Commander.
It's Suture. What are you doing here, Rilu, and with Suture in tow?
The Suture is my servant. I did not expect him to rush into the abyss after me, but I have allowed him to remain with me while I take care of some business. However, you asked what I am doing here. I bring answers. You have walked a long path, one where shadows constantly flicker at the edge of your vision, and questions multiply like flies above carrion. It is time for answers. At least, some of them. Day 16, Aridus 4715. Experiment, transformation. Subject, let's skip that. Objective, to embed the essence of a Nahindrian crystal in the soul of the subject. Expected result, the essence will coalesce with the subject's soul, which will ready itself for total transformation, triggering the concomitant powers. The time has come to put my plan into action. You are my creation. Your power was my gift. Now you know.
Let's say I believe you. Why did you do all of this?
You are asking the right questions, but the time has not yet come.
Ah, such special memories. Remember the laboratory, do you? I told you back then. Go on, look around. See all the ones Lady Aurelia worked on. Here with us is definitely the place for you.
The unseen angel does not speak, but his silence seems to thunder in your ears.
Your power is of the same kind as that of Nulkineth, Jeribeth, and the other demons that you have met. The power of the Nahindrian crystal dissolved into the blood lies within your soul. I have already hinted at this to you once before, when I left the essence along with the lexicon of paradox in my old laboratory, and ordered the Suture to make sure the gift found its way into your hands. But there is more. Do you remember when you were taken to Canobris with a wound that would not heal? Do you remember how Terendelev apparently healed you? That was merely an illusion. The dragon was only able to temporarily dull the pain. In fact, it was I who saved you, when I came to you in the caves and implanted a crystal within you. No, saved is not the right word. Your wound is still not healed. That is why your wound weeps blood from time to time, every drop of which burns your enemies.
You know, I'm looking at her character portrait, and I don't know if you guys can see it, but like right here on her like right underneath her collarbone, there's like this weird purple splotch, spider-looking thing. They don't do stuff like that for no reason. As if to confirm her words, the blood begins to seep from your wound in your chest. Eerie flames seem to dance within the crimson drops.
This is pure essence of Nahindrian crystal. My invention is far superior to the crystals used by Xanther, which were barely refined at all. It will give you new strength, and help you to overcome the wound that still slumbers within your soul. Take it. Take it, and you will see that this is the very power that has lived in you since the Battle of Canobris.
Ulbrich doesn't say a word, but you can see his pale face, his clenched teeth, his extended claws on his fingers. It's not going to work. You're going to need to tell me everything first.
Very well, then. Ask your questions, and I will answer.
What is the wound in my soul? How dangerous is it?
It was my mistake. My failure. I failed to... The tale is too long to recount here. Your wound is a reflection of the world wound in a way. It is very dangerous, even if you do not yet realize it. It is not a disease, but rather an abscess, which will one day burst and kill you. It cannot fully be healed until the world wound is healed. No doubt you have felt this affliction on several occasions. It awakens when you use your power. It makes you sense more strongly what mortals call the corruption of the abyss. Until the world wound is healed, you will have no peace.
You followed me.
Like a witch in a fairy tale, I watched over you from birth. From before that, even. And I kept detailed notes. You were chosen and prepared for a special destiny. Aside from this, I helped you, even when you were unaware of my presence. I saved you and your unfortunate companions when you fell into the crevice in Canabras. In the Grey Garrison, it was I who distracted Minago to allow you to approach the Wardstone. And in Dresden, I appeared under the guise of Yoniel to guide you toward the Sword of Valor. And I also left you a present in my old laboratory, and told the Suture to see that you received it. I knew that sooner or later you would find your way there. That place exerts a powerful pull.
In that case, thanks for your help. You should help me more often.
Certainly, but do not expect me to solve all your problems. A child that is forever carried in its mother's arms will never learn to walk.
Why was the whole ploy in the lab necessary? You were ready to sacrifice your servant, Suture, for it.
You always have to sacrifice something. I wanted you to go to the laboratory to see with your own eyes what I had been doing and what I am capable of, so it would be easier for you to accept the truth. The laboratory is the place where I prepared your ascent. And the Suture was the only one who I could trust to execute my plan and explain everything. After all, he too once experienced rebirth at my hands. And that is why I was willing to risk his life.
Yeah, look at that. I actually provoked a reaction. That's the second time your expression has changed when I mentioned the Suture. Now I know the architect of the world wound is capable of feeling remorse, if only when she sends her Dretch minion on a deadly mission.
I see I am not the only one making observations and drawing conclusions. You are analyzing me. That is commendable.
Tell me about the Nahadran crystals from the beginning.
Nahindrian crystals are formed from the solidified blood of demon lords. Their properties are not well known, even among the inhabitants of the Abyss. And there are reasons for this. Acquiring the blood of a dead demon lord is very difficult. After a demon lord dies, their body is instantly absorbed into the Rift of Repose. Only the Lady in Shadow knows how to kill them in a way that allows her to preserve the bodies of her fellow lords and transform them into a solid state. That means that Nahindrian crystals cannot be obtained anywhere other than the Midnight Isles. Or rather, it was impossible until recently, when I managed to experimentally obtain a crystal from the blood of a still living lord. You saw the result. A dagger made from Discari's freshly shed blood, which I left for you in Canabras. As regards the use of the crystals, that is a discussion that would take time. A very long time. Someday I will finish my groundbreaking treatise on the transformation of Nahindrian crystals, although it is unlikely I will ever publish it.
It's strange to see you here. Who do you really serve, Discari, Baphomet?
Both. And neither. I have served both Discari and Baphomet, and not merely as the lowest in the pecking order. But I do not think you'll be surprised when I tell you that to me, both of these mighty lords are merely convenient temporary sources of power. And their time is almost at an end. But the Lady in Shadow is different. She is the preeminent ruler. Soon you will understand this for yourself.
So you figured out how to use the crystals to imbue living creatures with power?
Not just any creatures. Demons. And half-demons. The soul must have a stable connection with the Abyss in order for it to receive the power of the crystal. Experiments involving tieflings and mongrels failed because the voice of the Abyss was not strong enough within them.
Yeah, I'm not a demon.
I wasn't a demon either when I started. But there are always ways to circumvent, or even to override the laws of the universe. I changed myself by knitting my soul together with the essence of the Abyss. And I changed you. Do you remember the fits of rage that began shortly after Discari's attack on Canabras? This is how the second half of your soul manifested itself. Not yet fully aware. Not yet awakened. It's a pity you did not choose to let your demonic nature take hold. The result would have been most impressive. All those arrogant crusaders, those knights with their eyes ablaze, those pious priests. They have installed at the head of their magnificent army a scion of the Abyss, the creation of the architect of the world wound, whom they so revile.
My power is different from that of Jerebeth, Nulkaneth, and other demons.
Yes, because I taught Xanther and the other servants of Baphomet and Discari the earliest version of this transformation ritual. I spent decades perfecting it until I obtained the power that I gave to you. Power in its most purified form, cleansed of the filth and chaos inherent within the original blood of the demon lords. Your power is as pure as thrice distilled water. But it resonates with other powerful sources of supernatural power, such as the Sword of Valor. And your power can change. You must have realized this already. You have shaped my gift into a form that you yourself have chosen. You are seeking answers, trying to understand the crux of the matter. That is good.
Alright, what do you want from me?
Patience. Before we continue, I want you to receive your power.
Do I do this? Well, it's what she wants, and I don't trust her. So I won't eat out of her hand. Refused. Channel all your powers into these words, and strangely you feel a surge of power within you in response. You turn down what Arilu Vorlash offers you, and your whole being embraces that choice. A wave of cold washes over your chest, and the open wound becomes smaller, as if your decision compelled it to shrink. Hey!
That effect. How unexpected. It deserves to be studied, but I will see to that later.
It says, even if it made me weaker, and I was like, crap, I'm gonna lose power.
Enough! Enough of this madness! I was blind. O Lady of Heaven, how blind I was. I saw holiness in the half-fiend's creation. Away! Away from this festering hole! I must bring this terrible truth to Queen Galfrey, and save those who can be saved from this darkness!
I think he's upset that he found out that I'm partially demon. Like, my soul is partially demon.
I want to help you close the world wound.
Okay. Aurilu's words are cut off by a quiet laugh. Sitting on the throne that was empty just moments ago is none other than Nauticula, ruler of the city and the Midnight Isles, a powerful demon lord and the one they call the Lady in Shadow. Her red lips curl into an ironic smile, and her large eyes observe you with keen interest.
You were about to say, we are going to close the world wound, weren't you, Aurilu? I see no reason to continue deceiving this mortal. Now I am convinced that he is quite worthy of serving me. I will even reward him with a modicum of knowledge about the events in which he is about to take part.
Greetings to you, Our Lady in Shadow.
It's nice to see that even surrounded by mortals, you haven't forgotten who your mistress is, Arushale. You may rise.
I didn't mean to. I don't know why I did it.
Yeah, just so we understand each other, I'm not gonna grovel on my knees before you.
Have I told you to bow down? Trust me, if I need you to do something, I won't leave you guessing. You will know my desires immediately, and you will know just as swiftly why fulfilling those desires is in your best interest. I have had my eye on you for a very long time. You see, it was at my behest that Lady Vorlesh imbued you with such incredible powers. But I was curious to see your worth as an individual, not as Lady Vorlesh's creation. Thus, I decided to postpone our meeting and see how you'd fare in Alashanira, and whether or not you could win respect and power among those not so easily impressed by outstanding magical abilities. Well, you've passed my test adequately by proving that your character and your will are stronger than the Nahindrian powers Lady Vorlesh has vested in you.
You are wise, my lady. However, only those who have never known or forgotten what it is like to be mortal can so easily dismiss the importance of power. To be someone whose life is fragile and can be cut short at any moment, like a candle snuffed out by a gust of wind.
It is a shame your angel has left you, mortal. I would have liked to talk to him. I don't expect I will get another chance, as that celestial buffoon's days are numbered.
I will say nothing.
He's an interesting little bird, that angel. Before he became the Herald of Iomade, he served Regathiel, the General of Vengeance. I've always found the fate of that Imperial Lord to be quite fascinating. Did you know that the father of the Upper Plains' top military leader was a devil from hell? Regathiel had to achieve many feats to redeem his unholy legacy in the eyes of the other Imperial Lords. But he did. A remarkable tale, is it not? Of course, not all your actions in my realm have been commendable. By destroying the flesh markets, you've harmed my city and impoverished my realm.
Yeah, I put an end to the suffering and pain there. I have no regrets.
You've just arrived in my realm, and you're already trying to dictate your own rules? As I recall, when demons attempted something similar on Galarian, armies were raised, and mortals fought to the death to stop it. I can scarcely believe it myself, but I will be gracious and show you mercy. I am a hospitable ruler.
They were awash with pain when you last saw them, their owner bleeding out in the caverns of the Nexus. I don't recall this.
Another island, another loss. Enough! I warned them that I would not stand for the desolation of my realm. They have not heeded me, and they will regret it. Go to your sisters, and tell them to prepare.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
But I digress. Let us continue.
I don't remember.
I have prepared a beautiful intrigue that will topple many of your enemies and seal the world wound forever, ending the threat to Galarian. And you have the chance to become part of that intrigue.
My companion Ember would like to speak with you.
Ember? So that's her then? Well, approach. I have heard you bleating your pathetic prayers at me. You have some nerve addressing me with such nonsense. Did you think I would simply repent? Renounce my status as a demon lord? Do you have any idea what I had to do to acquire it? Wait, what is this?
Tears are rolling down her cheeks as she sniffles noisily. She presses her maimed hands against her heart and stares up at Nocticula. Her fragile form shudders from weeping. Arilu wrinkles her nose. Why have you brought this simpleton here? This is the capital, not Neroshian. We don't give alms here.
I can't stand these noises. Do you think you're the first to try to move me with a display of tears? It only makes me angry. If you wish to speak, then wipe your nose and speak clearly.
I know what you had to do to others and to yourself. I'm so sorry. So sorry. If only I could ease your pain somehow. Calm your sorrows.
Yeah, you should hear her out.
In my realm, I decide to whom I should listen and whom I should hang. Be quiet. You wanted me to hear the girl out? Then let her babble on until I tire of her. So, where were we? My pain? My sorrows? What nonsense are you talking? Don't tell me you pity me.
I'm so sorry. You're the most miserable soul I've ever seen. I've seen people burned alive. People being devoured by monsters. People burying their children. They were in pain. So much pain. But I've never seen anyone in as much pain as you.
What is this saccharine drivel? What do you even know of me, Nat?
I've seen your city. You were the one who built it. It is the way you wanted it to be. It holds all of your dreams, all of your heart, and everyone in this city is suffering. Everywhere, all the time, every minute. All who live here are hurting and scared. If these are its citizens, how miserable must its ruler feel?
And this is what you brought her to me for. You think this infantile sniveling is worthy of my attention?
I've seen the truth of her wisdom more than once. Perhaps it would benefit you to listen to her as well.
As if I hadn't seen enough sanctimonious bores in my life. So, what do you suggest I do, preacher? Beg the good gods' forgiveness? Devote myself to serving a sword-swinging upstart, perchance? Or that old crone, the moon?
No. Gods can't help anyone. They're just like us mortals. Silly, frightened, clueless. You're almost a goddess yourself. You know better than anyone that no one can save you. No one except you.
Save me? From what exactly?
From yourself. From what you've done to yourself. From the city you've imprisoned yourself in. Listen! You are a queen, but you're the queen of pain. pain and filth. Your realm is a realm of your own suffering. You're almost a goddess. You can do anything you want. So why won't you make yourself happy? You could become the Redeemer Queen.
Oh, the Redeemer Queen! That's new. Never in all my years have I heard anything like that. Whew. Ah, well, child, enough joking. Get out of my sight, or I'm afraid I might decide to keep you here forever as my fool.
Do you think she took my words to heart?
Yeah, I doubt it.
I still hope she did, though.
I told you to get out! I don't want to hear your squeaky voice again!
Did Arilu really create me? Oh, I thought she was gonna... I thought that was voiceover. She certainly had a hand in your present state of existence. Lady Vorlesh designed the world wound, a magical phenomenon of unfathomable power. To steal it, we required a key that was just as strong and unique. Simply put, we required a champion, and she chose you. Both your powers and the wound on your chest were the result of her experiments. When she infused your soul with the essence of the Abyss, of course, you remember none of that. Everything was done in secret. Even the power granted to you was purified to the extent that it was possible, so that you would not guess its source ahead of time. In trial after trial, we watched your will be tempered, and when the time came, we started filling you with the energies of Nahindrian crystals. These energies are necessary for the tasks at hand. Everything that's happening to you was part of my intrigue. I was going to summon you and reveal the truth when the time was right. Instead, you have followed your queen's orders and arrived here early. One can only hope that you are prepared to accept the truth. Everything has its price. Your wound was, in essence, the flip side of all my experiments. There was a reason why we required a true champion, not merely a living tool whom we could fling into the flames of the world wound and close it like a lesser rift. I think you know that. Nocticula makes a sudden gesture, cutting Arilu off. Don't be too hasty. We have burdened him with enough revelations for now. Give him time to become accustomed to the truth about himself. Then you can share the details. I killed Willidus, your court mage. I'm aware of this, of course. It is lamentable in a way, since his fear of me was strong enough to make him implacably loyal. However, his death is but a single move in a much larger game. In games like this, losing a few pawns is unavoidable. I wish to inform you of treason. I don't know, what am I going to talk to her about? Is that so? Who is it that you've decided to inform on, and more importantly, how did you learn of these traitors, and how credible are these accusations? Shamira is researching Nahindrian crystals in secret. She is planning to overthrow you. How nice of you to warn me. I'm impressed. I do wonder, however, do you really think that I was unaware of this, or did you merely want to demonstrate your loyalty? Either way, I appreciate you telling me. I will take this as proof that I can rely on you. You were very astute to uncover Shamira's desire to dethrone me, and it was particularly sensible of you to keep your mouth shut about the secrets of the crystals. I suppose your caution calls for a reward. Aspect of the asp. I don't know what that is. Mining the Hadrian crystals is a surefire way to sink the island of the crystals are on the bottom to Ishigar. I assume you understand why all who attempted to procure them on Olympia were executed. At least you didn't tell Shamira about the mines you found. The last thing I need is the Ardent Dream burrowing under my capital. Why do you still tolerate her? Someone has to deal with the trivial matters. Shamira's betrayal was assured the moment I made her my favorite, just as Zephyrians before her. The second always dreams of rising up to be the first. I know the feeling quite well. I said everything. I want to know more about other powerful denizens of the Abyss. Are you interested in one of my servants, or do you want me to tell you something about your enemies? Are Baphomet and Discari your allies? The goat and the locust? Allies is too strong of a word for our relationship. Our connection was forced by circumstance, not out of desire to deal with each other. When the world wound opened, it tied your world to our realms. It did not join my armies... I did not join my armies with theirs, but I was forced into making peace with them as to not get bogged down in a tiring and distracting war. If I had the opportunity, I would have met them on my terms and expanded my territories at their expense. Unfortunately, that is not currently possible. By the way, one of them came to me with an offer of an atrocious alliance that involved conceiving little ones together. I'm still contemplating the specifics of my refusal. It needs to be clear and unambiguous. What is your relationship with Arilu? She works for me, isn't that obvious? Lady Vorlesh is very talented. She may be the most brilliant and capable mind ever to come from your plane. And the guile she has used to betray one Demon Lord Master after another impressed me so much that I offered her a position of my advisor on matters of magic. Naturally, the esteemed Lord Goat and Lord Locust don't know a thing about the betrayal of their faithful lackey, Lady Vorlesh. I plan to keep it a secret for a while longer. Betrayal is too strong of a word. I opened the path to Galarian for those two, and I told them how to extract power from the crystals. That will suffice. Doesn't it bother you that she serves another master? I'm not prone to jealousy. Let Discari think that Vorlesh serves him still. His bug brain seems incapable of sensing betrayal. As for Baphomet, he, like any talented liar, is most vulnerable when he's trying to deceive someone else. He was so pleased to have fooled Discari that he became blind to the treachery that was happening right under his snout. In truth, Lady Vorlesh's loyalty is mine alone. Loyalty is for fools, shared interest, that's what a rational mind relies upon. That and fear, and no one in their right mind would oppose the Lady in Shadow. How did she become your servant? When the world wound was first opened, it only led to Discari's realm, but then there was another, more powerful breach. The wound expanded, and its paths now pass through my realm, and Baphomet's as well. Before long, all sorts of interlopers had heard about the power contained within the crystals here, and the Midnight Isles were soon overrun with agents from my new neighbors. They flouted my embargo, borrowing... I'm talking here! Hey, yo, wait! They heard about the power contained within the crystals here, and the Midnight Isles were soon overrun with agents from my new neighbors. They flouted my embargo, burrowing greedily into my rocks, stealing my crystals. The main culprit was one Arilu Vorlesh. She was the one who discovered the energies of Nahedran crystals. I had captured her and was about to carry out her agonizing execution when she offered me something I desired even more than her death. She entered my service, and her main task since then has been to close the world wound. Once it is sealed, my realm will once again be cut off from those of Baphomet and Discari, and their slaves will no longer be able to infiltrate my islands with such ease. I don't think I want to mention the architect. I don't want her knowing that he's around. Everything's clear to me now. I want to know more about you. Recounting my whole story will take longer than your brief mortal life allows. The list of demon lords I've slain is endless on its own, as is the number of islands under my rule, and that's just the past. There's also my future. Are the Midnight Isles really corpses of slain demon lords? Yes, my realm is quite literally built on the bones of my slain enemies. Ironic, isn't it? How did you turn them into islands? Surely you don't expect me to reveal my secret to you. There's no need for mortals to learn the wickedness of demon lords. All I can say is that everything started with my desire for revenge. After I had dealt with Nahandri, I was furious at the thought of the vile, lecherous wretch just teleporting over the Rift of Repose, where he could turn to stone and stay there and rot for the remainder of eternity. I wanted to trample his foul corpse. To keep his bloodied body within my sight forever, I yearned to display my glorious trophy all over the abyss, and that's when my power first manifested. I studied my newfound abilities and learned how to use them. Before long, I possessed not just one island, but an entire archipelago. What do you plan to do next? Subdue the abyss? Possibly. Or perhaps I have something grander in mind. The Abyss? Who cares about the Abyss? How'd you become a demon lord? Bear in mind, I have always been unique, ever since I was born. I was the first succubus of the Abyss, and the perfect specimen of my race. I had been enjoying my youth, sharing it with my brother and lover, until the hungry gaze of the demon lord Nahandri fell upon me. That greedy tyrant saw me as a jewel to be added to his treasure hoard. He tried to abduct me. I knew I had no chance of defeating a demon lord, but in that moment, I was not thinking at all. I was fighting for my freedom. When it all was over and Nahandri was dead, I eviscerated him, and for many days afterward, blood spewed from his open carcass. First, his body turned to stone, and then his blood, which had been flowing like a stream, began to crystallize into massive purple glaciers. Now do you see why they call Nahadran crystals? Perhaps they should be called Nocticulan crystals, because as Nahandri blood crystallized, so did my understanding of my power. Soon after, I began my campaign of conquest. I was cunning and swift, and the demon lords themselves trembled before me, knowing I could take their very lives. Only when all of the Abyss spoke my name with terror and reverence did I decide that I had killed enough. I had a realm, I had power, I no longer shared with my brother. I had servants, and most importantly, I had safety. No one has ever repeated old Nahandri's mistakes. No one has ever tried to take me as their slave. No more questions. What exactly are you offering me? I'm offering you a chance to become my weapon. Your enemies are a thorn in my side, as well as yours. Once more, I have never schemed against Galarian, nor have my warriors taken part in the conquest of your plane, at least not on my behest. There is no cause for enmity between us. Why would you want to close the wound? When the world wound opened, I was pleased. My realm was now connected to another plane. I wanted to make it a crossroads of the worlds, a place where demons, devils, and even angels could meet. The wound was a convenient path along which I could advance my ideas, but the Midnight Isles were not the only realm that had been linked to Galarian through the wound. Discaria and Baphomet now also had a way into their realms, into your plane. Their servants flooded my islands and spread out across them like a plague of locusts, killing guests who were under my protection, questioning my rule. They were driven by their lust to conquer and enslave, whether on Galarian or in another abyssal realm.